You stupid bitch. Yeah, you're a stupid bitch. You stupid bitch.
Well, Merry Christmas, stupid bitch.
Merry Christmas, my little ho ho ho.
I am a little ho ho ho, aren't I?
You're a triple ho. Merry Christmas. Can you believe it? It's here already and the end of season 9.
End of season 9. God, we're going to be a whole decade next season.
We'll have double digits next season,
Yeah.
which we will probably look at starting again in the first Tuesday of February. So we've got a bit of time, but a bit of a break between now and then for us, which is nice. I mean, recording starts before then, but still, it's nice to have that little.
It is lovely to have a break. As much as I do enjoy it. The preparation can be a little bit manic.
Yeah.
But
Until
also
we're
when I come in and I know that we're recording, that's when I start getting really excited. I'm like, ooh, yeah, I get to get drunk with my best friend soon.
and saying like I can be getting my notes, and then the day of I'll be like, oh my god, I'm just so tired, and then start recording. It's like bing.
Yeah.
Once we get to the stage where we don't have to work,
Yes.
we'll continue. We probably don't even need to have season breaks.
Oh, depends on you, dear listeners.
Yeah. Tell your fucking mates.
Make us go viral, please.
Yes. Like that clap you had.
Ew. You had the clap. No, you had crabs.
No, I didn't.
Dirty, itchy, crab infested butt. Was it tiny, tiny little crabs running around?
I'm positive. Not positive with crabs, though. Yeah.
Anywho.
That one didn't land.
Sorry, trailed off again.
I don't think it was delivered well, don't worry.
So what are we doing this evening?
Well, where are we? Who are we? What is this?
What is this? Well, it's a little tiny podcast.
Funny Babel.
What?
What did you think I said? I said it's only a Babel.
Babel?
A baby.
That did not come across like that. I want subtitles on him right now.
Cut
so I
this
can
shit.
Try and interpret what you actually said. Anyhow, it's a podcast about
called
StupidBSayWhat, the podcast about everything and nothing, but always with wine or beer or something. And your hosts, Sean Bino Hipkins
and Skylee Collett.
That's me.
Yes.
And this week, for our last episode
of season 9,
we're going to get fucking festive.
As fuck.
Yeah, it's fucking hot here. I'm going to put my aircon on.
Yeah, I got mine on the dehumidifier.
Yeah, so we're going to get fucking festive because it's that time of the year. And look, how many days is it till Christmas? It's the 12th
13.
today. 13. Oh my God, I have got so much to do. Much to do. I've maybe brought like 10 gifts.
My God, we don't even, like, the best thing about our Christmas now is the kids that we buy for in Ireland, we just send over cash.
Right.
The kids in Australia, we just give cash.
Yeah, easy.
My brothers and I don't do gifts. My stepfather and my father, we just give booze. And Vinny and I, we just we're getting each other a pair of new AirPods this Christmas. So it's fine. It's so easy.
Well, we're huge gift givers and we always try to one-up each other every year, especially my brother-in-law. He is determined to be the best present giver ever, and he's pretty fucking good. He usually knocks one out of the park for each of us every year, and we get multiple presents each. Yeah, it's crazy. We all go crazy.
It's nice.
But yeah, how did we even start talking? Oh, fuck, that wine's gone to my head. Whoa.
I thought it was beer.
How the fuck does this look like beer?
Is it a rosé or a white?
Well, look, you have to ask me what I'm drinking first.
Well, that's your job, host.
Well, what are you drinking, you stupid bitch?
I am drinking
I feel
red.
like that intro was a bit of drivel.
Mm.
I feel
They
like
get
you
the
might
point.
need to whirl it around and buff it up a little bit.
They get the point. I'm drinking a Krondorf
Krondorf.
with a divot.
A Krondorf with a divot.
It's Barossa region, Cab Sav, vintage 2022.
Ooh.
And this was one of the ones that I got when I
That little
did my
baby would be
huge shop.
5 next year. It'd be going to prep.
It'd be 3, actually.
Didn't you say 2020?
2022.
Oh.
It's still staying at home with me. And it's delicious. It's
Not
Cab
ready
Sav.
for school yet.
It's a nice heavy cab. You can't see through it. Love that in a red.
Lovely.
And how about
Lovely.
you, my darling heart? What beer, wine are you drinking? It looks like it's even got
Well,
a little head on it.
really, I never thought that you would ask. It doesn't have a head. It's actually a wine, but it has a very pinky look, and I was very shocked. So
Mm,
it was a gift at work this week from one of our people,
yeah.
um, external people sent it to me, which was lovely. But you're not going to believe what it's called.
Sky's Realm.
It's called
Dear
Dear Vincent.
Vincent. Oh, how cool.
Dear Vinny. Hello, Vinny.
And is it a rosé?
No, it's a Pinot Gris because when I saw it and I pulled it out
Oh,
of the bag, I was like, what the fuck is this? This is a
is it?
fucking rosé.
Yeah. Has it
Um,
got orange in it or something?
no, it's a Pinot Gris. That's all it says. It's Granite Belt, Queensland. But it had an old corky in the top. And I mean, it's been a
Oh,
long time since I had a corky. The last time I had one was a bottle that my brother-in-law gave me that it was really old.
yeah.
And we didn't have a corkscrew. So we couldn't drink it. We went to drink it one day. We're like, fuck, we don't actually have a corkscrew. So then we went to buy one, and that was a whole ordeal. Anyway, so we had a corkscrew this time and we popped it out. But I want to read you the little ditty on the back. It says, Dear Vincent, some of our most treasured moments include fantastic food and wine, shared with our closest friends. Our wines are crafted with sun soaked long lunches in mind, where laughter flows as freely as the wine itself.
Oh,
With each bottle, we invite you to celebrate our unwavering commitment to producing exceptional fruit, epic wine, and the pride we have in our granite belt home. Drink up and savor the moment. It's a Pinot Gris 2023 semi-skin contact textural epic natural acid and a wonderful finish, whatever the fuck that means.
oh.
But it is pink
It is pink.
and it's a little bit
Yeah,
um
yeah.
I
I
thought
think for a
because
white, well, Pinot Gris is usually a red, isn't it?
no, Pinot Gris is always white, darling.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a very
Thinking Pinot Noir,
Pinot. What Pinot Grigio?
Pinot Grigio, and Pinot Gris. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's how you pronounce it. I probably am
it's
pronouncing
Gris, I
it wrong.
think.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I think you're right. I think it is Pinot Gris. But it's got an S on it, my friend.
Pinot Noir. Yeah, interesting.
Anyway, it's a bit
Yeah,
but
it does
I'm
look like it'd have
sure
that tart taste to it.
yeah, I'm sure it's going to be fine in a couple more mouthfuls.
Well, cheers to the last episode for season 9.
Cheers and Merry
Ching.
Christmas once again.
And a
Favorite
Merry
time of the
Christmas
year.
to all.
Also, never put my Christmas tree up, FYI. It's too late now. Can't be fucked.
Wow.
I know. I know that
Festive
disgusts
bitch, aren't
you.
Just no, it doesn't. Just disappoints me.
Second year in the row that I haven't done it.
And usually they stay up for months at your house.
Oh, not since I met my husband, because he always puts it away normally. And once we get back from
Bless.
Christmas, he's like, I'm done with this. Christmas is over. Packs it up. And I'm like, well, you're fucking packing up then. And he does. He does.
Bless.
Anywho, so let's talk about how your week's been, you silly bitch.
The week has been good. So as we know, Vincent came home to the
Oh my
roost on
God.
Friday just gone. And did we have
Dear Vincent, welcome home.
Welcome home, please. He would hate that wine too, by the way.
Oh, he would hate it. Absolutely
He
hate
hates a
it.
rosé that is too dark. Even though I know it's not a rosé, he'd just look at it and be like, ugh.
Ugh. Ick.
Yeah, so we had a fun weekend. We went to Maho Magic on the Saturday night
Oh,
after we had
yes,
lunch
yes.
together with you and Tyler and some other friends, which was really nice to catch up with everyone before Christmas. Maho Magic, the Japanese magic bar, 80, I think it was $85 for the front row ticket each. Then you had to pay $20 to $22 for a cocktail after that, nothing included. Six magicians came around. Some of them were hilarious. Some of the tricks were cool. A lot of them were very basic. Would I recommend it? Probs not, soz. Then we went to the Enchanted Garden at Roma Street, Parkland.
Props,
Um,
not sauce.
as soon as we got there,
That's your review there, people.
yeah, don't bother. We went to
One
Enchanted
star.
Garden, went to Enchanted Garden, and I thought because we prepaid tickets, we'd be able to just walk in, walk through at the time that we were allotted. No, there was a queue a mile long, and there was children running around,
Hate
screaming
queues.
everywhere.
Hate children.
There was fucking adults screaming everywhere. Vinny and I looking at each other, and we're just like, we paid $9. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And so we went to King George Square and watched I think it's King
Can't even
George
get a
Square.
beer for that these days.
And watched the light show on City Hall and the tree. And then we went to Macca's, had a feed, and that was so much better. But then, yes, we went and saw A Very Naughty Christmas on Sunday, and that was a fucking hoot. And I'm going again next year. That was cheaper than Maho Magic. It went for an hour and a half. It was thigh-slappingly funny. It was very naughty. There was burlesque. There was like, and they weren't afraid to tap on the whole camp side of things. So there was like guys being gay, and then there was girls being all fucking flirty with the guys and all this shit. It was so much fun. It was really, really, really good. Santa was hot as fuck. And I had to get up on stage, which was a hoot. Yeah, it was great.
I love that for you. Okay, well, we're coming. If you go next year, we will come.
Yes, and we want to get a cabaret table because you can take bottles to the cabaret table. We were in the seats at that stage, and we could only take one drink.
Say no more, say no more.
I know. But yeah, she went walking through the audience. She's like, right now we need audience participation. You're all shitting yourselves, aren't you? And I was like, oh God, don't come anywhere near me. And then she walked up the stairs right beside me, and she walked past, and I thought, oh, sweet, we're fine. She goes, you. And then I turned around to see who she was pointing at, and she was stood behind me, pointing at me. And I was like, no. What's your name, Sean? And I was just like, oh, as much as people would be like, oh yeah, you had to do it. Like it's not my first choice of thing to do.
No, I know. That's what I was thinking. I can't believe they got you up. I can't believe you didn't just push Vinny out there and be like, no, you go.
Well, it's just in those situations, I'm like, okay, just be a good sport, have fun.
Because you'll cop it anyway. If you decline, you'll cop it way worse than you would if you participate.
And then you'll be thinking afterwards, oh, I should have just done it. Anyway, fuck it. I was up there. My little legs were shaking. My big legs were shaking when I was stood there.
You do have little legs. You've got little chicken legs.
And then they got a few other people up. But first she's like, right. So they did Twas the Night Before Christmas sort of stage play. And I was the mouse. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. So I had to go squeak. And then I had to run up and back down the stage going squeak, squeak.
Such a squeaker.
But I did squeak. Santa goes, oh, that was pretty shit, Sean. I was like, how else do I squeak? Anyway, it was
Santa, I'm squeaking for you.
Yeah, squeak, squeak, you bad boy. But yeah, it was so much fun, and it was a good laugh, and we had a great time. We caught up with Kate from Canada, who was over for her 40th for next weekend.
Listen to the podcast, please.
She does. And we had a few beers with her and the in-laws. That was great. I watched a movie on Netflix, and it was a thriller, and I recommend it. I think you'll like it. It's not a thriller as in Silence of the Lambs horror / thriller. It's like a whodunit, someone dies, blah, 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 blah. Reptile, it's called. It's got Justin Timberlake. It's got a cast.
Oh my God, totally message the chat, the Stupid Bitches chat, because Tyler he would love it already, I think.
Benicio del Toro.
Oh, yes. No, I think I've seen a bit. I didn't know that Justin Timberlake was in it.
Silverstone's in it as well. Brilliant. Like Vinny passed out during it, but that's just because he was so tired. I think it was on the Sunday. And it was 2 hours and a bit, and I watched the whole thing without my phone. Very good.
Wow. Okay. I love a good movie recommendation because these days it's hard to find a good film to watch.
Especially a good thriller too, like drama type sort of one. And love it. Totes recommend. And also, how has your week / year been? Well, just your week actually.
That was weird. It's been great. Talking about Christmas films, did you end up watching Nutcrackers, the one with Ben Stiller that I spoke to you about because you were looking for films?
I started watching it, but I didn't get too far into it.
we started watching it and turned it off halfway. I was a little bit intrigued by what the kids were doing and I wanted to see it through, and it got to about halfway and I was like, I am done with this. It was weird.
Yeah, it was
The
kind of a bit.
whole storyline was just choppy and
It was like a
weird and
downer too, wasn't it?
yeah. And
Yeah,
it wasn't as funny as it made out in the previews that it was going to be humorous. There was some funny parts, but not
yeah.
super funny, not worth the effort that went into trying to,
Sit through it.
vibe with a weird movie. And
Yeah,
Tyler said to me in the first 10 minutes, he was like, oh, I'm not into this. I said, let's
that's
give it a halfer.
yeah, fair enough. I gave it about
'Cause
15, I think, and I thought, oh, I'm not in the mood to
and
watch a
it had
Christmas
good
movie.
actors in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
well,
it had
Ben
all those
Stiller's usually
kids. It
good.
had Ben Stiller. It had the chick the Scooby Doo chick. What's her name? I always forget her name. She's in the Avengers too. Not the
No,
Avengers. She's in one of the Marvel ones. She's one of the wives. The Scooby Doo one, the one who plays Velma.
no
She's in
idea.
heaps of shit. Oh,
Um,
what's the fucking name?
Nutcrackers cast.
I think I recommended it too because you were talking about Christmas movies and I've said, oh, this is one I think I'm going to watch, and yeah, we turned it off.
Yeah.
It was crap.
Is it
Um,
Linda
yes, that's her.
Cardellini?
That's her. That's her.
Cardellini?
Cardellini, I think it is.
Ah,
But yes, the other thing that I wanted to talk about my week, and I've got a couple of things, is that if you were living under a rock, you may not know that the new season of Yellowstone without the old KC has just been
mm,
released in the last couple of weeks. So everyone's talking about it. My sister and my family are all like, oh my God. And it's episode on episode, right?
yeah.
Week on week at the moment. Well, it's nearly done, I think, now. And my sister in our family group chat, my sister and my dad just keep going back, and I'm like, no fucking spoilers. And they're
Yeah.
just always like, oh my God, did you see last night? It was so crazy. So we decided on Sunday night, I think it was, no, I think it was Friday night. We were like, oh, let's put it on. So we put it on and we put the first 5 minutes of the new episode on, and we looked at each other and we were kind of scratching our heads a little bit. And we were like,
What happened? Why is
yeah.
Beth picking up rubbish?
Yeah, and we were just kind of like, I don't really remember. And you know what I find about Yellowstone? Because they introduce a new baddie every season, they sort of get mixed together as well. So
Mm.
you can't really remember the story because everyone always gets injured
Well, I
when the
forgot that he
baddies are
was
there.
even. I forgot that he became governor. Kevin Costner.
Yes, I do vaguely remember that. But so we sort of went, ugh. And then Tyler said to me, look, should we watch it from the beginning? And we said, yeah. And then we tossed and turned and we ummed and ahed, and we were sort of, we only watched maybe 5 minutes of the first one. And then the next thing, Tyler just flicked it back to the season one, thinking that I had agreed to go back to the beginning. And then he started. I said, "Babe, you picked it. What are you doing? You've done the wrong episode. What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, you just said you want to watch it from the beginning." And I was like, "Oh." And he's like, "Do you not want to watch it from the beginning? You just said you want to watch it from the beginning." And I was like, "No, okay, I'm into it. Let's do it." But I was a bit like, "Oh God, I don't know if I can go on this journey because this is a huge effort because it's 1 hour episodes, yada yada, and it's a long series." Anyway, watching it again was the best thing that we ever did, and we have flown through it. So now we're up to halfway through season 2, and we only started watching it, and there's 10 episodes in each season. I thought it was only 6 or 8, but there's actually 10. So we flew through it because every time it ended we'd be like, fuck, one more, and we've been watching it all week until nearly midnight each night. So if you haven't done the new season yet, I highly recommend going back to the beginning. And I thought it might be a little bit boring, but it's not. It just is bang, 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 bang. And I don't remember it being as I remember like the first season, I thought it was a little bit slow, but it's fucking not. It's just full on.
Yeah. I like we did the same, doing the same with Game of Thrones, and I get what you're saying because watching Game of Thrones again has just been fucking excellent. And you understand so much more. There's so much more that you didn't pick up on the first time because you know the general story. So you're watching for the other bits that fall in with that. I don't know if I could do Yellowstone again. I don't know if I'm that much of a fan. We have started the new season.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah,
well, if you've already started, you can't really turn back now.
Yeah, we pretty much got up to date with how many had come out on Monday. I think we watched them all.
I think
I
that
find
was
the new
part of the
season a bit
reason.
weird, to be honest.
Oh, see, my sister and my dad are saying it's the best ever. What I've heard, even before my sister said it, I'd read something online. Apparently, how Kevin Costner exits, they reckon it's done very well.
Yeah.
But and I don't know anything about how it is done. Thank God I haven't seen a spoiler. But he is dead to me. Casey
Yeah.
dead to me. I won't watch his new show. I
Yeah.
will watch old movies.
What was the whole reason why he quit again? Was it
I feel like from all the shit that went on, there was him and the show creator in the end went head to head and there was some
yeah.
issues. And originally he wanted to be released, I think, to do this new show, which is exactly like Yellowstone. It's like an old school ranchy
Yeah.
type show, which is out now and is also on Stan. I refuse to watch it
Yeah.
because he's one of my favorite characters in Yellowstone. He's excellent in Yellowstone. And then just to exit when it's so close to the
To
end,
the
I
end. I
just
know.
think
I
is
think
just a dog move.
yeah, he didn't care. Like, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what the deal was, but I feel like he could have done it for the fans.
We've all been in jobs that we've hated and just stuck it out. You know
We've
what I mean? Like
seen
it's
it
fucking
through.
an extra year for the fans.
Yeah.
Do it for the fans. Like
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sorry. And
Yeah.
then it all got stalled too. The reason it took so long to come out is because of all the carry on and they had to rewrite the script because he
Yeah.
left and
Yeah.
yada yada. So I'm just you've really disappointed me, Casey.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying with that, and I agree. I agree.
Um, but okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is I've read two really crazy books in the last week since we last spoke. The first one is a book called What Lies Between Us. It's two women that live together, one upstairs, one downstairs, but they're in the same house. And as the story develops, you realize that the woman that's living upstairs is the downstairs woman's prisoner. And she brings her down for
Oh,
meals,
cool. Okay.
brings her down on a chain on her ankle for meals, and then they come down and they share dinner together, and that she's in a soundproof house and the room upstairs is soundproof and all the windows are barred and there's covers on the windows so she can see out but no one can see in.
Yep.
And then after they have a meal together and have normal chit chat and everything's fine and blah blah blah. How was your day? No, how was your day? And blah 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 blah. She gets the long chain that she's used to bring her down the stairs, takes her up, puts her on a shorter chain, and locks her to the floor in the bedroom.
So does it start off where they're having dinner and chatting and you don't know that she's on the chain and then all of a
Yes.
sudden you're just like, what the fuck?
And then it develops into that. Then it develops into the woman upstairs is the downstairs woman's mother. So she's 63.
Oh,
The woman
wow.
downstairs is like 32. So it's the daughter who has chained her up, and it's done in flashback. So it talks about when the daughter was a teenager and she was really out of control from 12 because the dad left and she went a little bit rebellious. So you're seeing the story from like 20 years ago, and
Yeah.
then you're seeing the story from now. And I tell you what, it gets fucking hectic.
Have you read it all?
I've read the whole thing. Read the whole thing.
So does that get more twists as to why the mother's chained up and
It's next level. I didn't see any of it coming. Like I was just
okay.
like the whole time and the whole ending. Some of it didn't add up for me, so that's why I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because there was a little bit like this wouldn't really
Yeah.
happen. There was a few bits that I couldn't really buy into, but overall the ending was next level.
Cool.
It was just the inconsistencies and things that I was a bit critical of. So,
Fair
and then
enough.
the other book that I read and loved is called Kill for Me, Kill for You. And this is one that came up because it was a big TikTok book, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, you've got to read this book; it's insane." So this is where two women meet in a trauma counseling group. They have both lost young daughters to sexual assault motivated murders. One of the girls was 5 when she was
Okay.
kidnapped, abused. She was kidnapped in a park with her dad. Kidnapped, abused, murdered, found in a dumpster. And the 14-year-old was fell in love with her teacher. He was having sex with her, killed her, and then she was found like a week later on the side of the road type thing. So they're grieving. It's fresh. It's been like 6 months for the one with the 5-year-old. It's been 12 months, I think, or a year and a half for the one with the 14. They start getting drunk together, start talking about it, and then eventually they make a pact that they're going to switch places. So the one whose 5-year-old's died, her husband was in the park with her. They're like they were madly in love, had like a fairy tale romance sort of thing. Once that he was holding her hand, left her for a second to tie a shoe. She ran off. He looked up, saw her away, looked back to tie a shoe, and the next minute she was gone. So once they find her body, he goes and kills himself. So this woman's lost her husband from the guilt of it and a little girl. Anyway, so they agree that they're going to kill each other's murderers because the one who's lost the the 5-year-old, she starts stalking. So they both women know who's responsible for the murders, but there's not enough evidence to convict these people. So they switch places and they agree. And so the one with the 14-year-old, she rocks up and she's like, I've done it. I've killed him. He's dead. You've got to go through with what you said. She gives her evidence that he's dead. And then the one with the 5-year-old, she starts having a little bit of remorse, but she feels so freed by the fact that the guy's dead. She's finally starting to think she's got a bit of closure and she can move on with life because she's been stalking him and he's got this restraining order against her and all this shit's happening. She can't pay her rent, blah, blah, blah.
But she's got her debts to pay.
So she goes and kills the other dude. And that's all I can. She nearly chickens out, but then he attacks her when she chickens out. So she has no, she has to kill him because it's self-defense and everything. Anyway, so then she wakes up the next day and then she sees the dude who killed her 5-year-old and he's still alive.
So the other one didn't pay her debt. And that one
gets fucking crazy as well.
Wow. Okay, cool. So she fucking lied to her.
Yeah. So that's just the premise. And then I'm not going to tell you what happens because I've got both. Oh, no, actually, both the books are from the library. So
that's okay.
You'd have to buy them. But they're totally up your alley. These are the ones that you start reading from the first chapter and you can't put down.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about New Year's resolutions when we get into our episode. I've got that down. But they sound great.
Think about that. Anyway, so the last thing I want to mention is that I found out yesterday that my mother-in-law and my 2 brother-in-laws are coming to visit for Christmas. Very last minute. They just all came together. They all had time off and they just decided that they were going to drive up, the 3 of them, and come and stay with us for a week.
So will that be over Christmas itself?
Yes, over Christmas. So they'll be here for Christmas Day, Christmas Eve.
So they'll go to your sister's. Is it your sister's?
Yes, they'll come have family Christmas with us. Yes.
What about New Year's? Are they just?
No, they'll be gone before New Year's. They'll just miss it. But I'm going to try my hardest to convince both the boys to stay.
We're having a party.
But I know that my mother-in-law has to go back for work. She's got work, she has to go back for. So but yeah, so we're very excited because we miss them terribly because we used to live right near them. And we have missed them a lot this year.
New Year's resolutions. I'll tell you mine. One is read a book a month. I'm going to make sure I do it. And continue with my fitness regime.
Excellent. I haven't made any yet. I haven't made any. I will think about that at our New Year's shindig.
And then we can talk about it in our first episode.
Screaming them out at 1 a.m. going, this is what I'm going to do differently this year.
Oh, you bitches can get out. All right, so let's get into the episode. Do you want to kick it off with little festive flavoring?
Yes, I do. And look, what I think I'd really like to kick it off with first, because then it's going to roll into one of yours, I think, is let's talk about Christmas foods.
Yes.
So what are we going to be making for Christmas Day? So look, I've added a couple of different things into the list this year. So I think I've talked about it before. I don't know how much detail I've gone into, but I'm going to do it again. Just for the new listeners. My sister and my brother-in-law, they have, well, since we've moved to Brisbane, this is our tradition. My sister and brother-in-law forever, they've been together since high school. They celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve because of my brother-in-law's nationalities. Like that's a Christmas Eve thing. So they do a whole Christmas Eve thing at their family's house, which means they're totally free for Christmas Day.
Which is great for you guys. Which is excellent.
Yeah. It works out perfect. And it has for years, right? So since we've been back living in Brisbane, and we did this before I moved down there as well, but I go there on Christmas Eve. With my family. So Tyler comes, mum and dad comes, Link comes, and then we prep all the food as much as we possibly can for Christmas Day, so that, we don't have to do as much as, we can sort of just chill, but we still end up cooking heaps of shit anyway. So we go up there, we start having a few drinks, and then usually Sarah and Aaron, my brother-in-law and my sister and the kids rock up about, somewhere between 9 and 11 o'clock at night. They've been at their families all day. And So we've got all the food done, and my brother-in-law cooks all the meat on Christmas Day as well. Like he puts it in, like a Weber or whatever he's cooking
Smoker.
that year, smoker, whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
So he does that on Christmas Day in the morning, but we've usually got a lot of the stuff done, and they rock up, and usually me, mum, and dad, and Tyler are pretty shit faced at that point because we've been drinking and cooking and drinking and cooking. We're in very festive moods. So this year, and this is what I've done for the last couple of years, is I make a prawn cocktail, like a traditional prawn cocktail. I know you don't like seafood, but the one with the lettuce and the prawns and the drizzle. I think like Pizza Hut. Do you remember the prawn cocktails from Pizza Hut years
Yeah,
and years
I
and years
always just
ago?
picture, oh yeah, because I always picture him around a martini glass or
Yes,
something.
yes, that's
Yeah,
what they used to be at Pizza Hut. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So I make a prawn cocktail, and we usually have a brunchy thing. We all get up at like 5 a.m. because the kids are up, and they're not little kids
yes.
anymore. They're grown, but they still get up super early. So we get up super early. We're all like
That's nice.
drinking our coffee at 5 in the morning, going, "Oh my god!" And my niece is running around. Oh my god, so does
I love that.
So we start with a coffee, and then before we sit down for presents, we're drinking our mimosas
Oh, nice. Yeah,
at
yeah,
5
yeah.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. It's
So
like
then we do
Eurovision.
yes, yes. So we're doing we do our presents, and then we go and we have, sometimes we might have croissants and things like that, but then I finish it off in the morning brunchy time with the prawn cocktails, and then I make a potato bake every year, but I do that on the Christmas Eve. I prep it. I don't cook it. I just
Yeah.
prep it with all the
So you
cream.
just
It's
have to
all
fuck it
ready
in
to
the
go,
oven.
and I just put it in the oven because it's such a mission making a huge potato
Yeah.
bake. For dessert this year, I'm going to make a pumpkin pie. I didn't
Oh,
make that last year, but you might recall that it's usually a traditional thing that I make at Christmas. Make
yes,
it
I
from
have heard.
scratch.
Yes.
A little bit of ice cream on the side. It's delicious. I'm also going to do a Mars bar slice to please the
Oh,
children because they love the old Mars bar slice, especially my son. Um, this year, I'm also going to make some cornbread. And it was because
oh.
I looked in my cupboard the other day, and I have this can of creamed corn that I brought randomly. And I Googled it. I was like, what can I make with a can of creamed corn? And all these things came up, and then it was cornbread. And I was like, ooh, yeah, that's like a traditional American Christmas food. I'm going to give that a burn.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
seems really
cool.
easy. Just chuck a whole bunch of stuff in, mix it up, and bake it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that as well. And then usually throughout the day, we do a whole bunch of different cocktails, depending on what we're doing, who's making them, and whatever. I'm going to bring the stuff to make espresso martinis at some point.
Yeah.
I've already put my sister, so my sister doesn't cook at
What
all.
do you use for your espresso in your espresso martinis?
Well, last year for Christmas, Tyler got me a whole pack of espresso martinis, which is the liqueur, the coffee liqueur,
Yeah.
and the Kahlua. And we had a Sunday a while ago where we just made them with the ingredients that he'd brought because we hadn't gotten around to doing it, and they were delicious. But I like to put a little bit of chocolate. So usually, like if there's a bit of Nesquik or something like that, just to give it a little bit of extra kick, and then it's
Sweeter.
vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like the coffee liqueur, vodka, a
So
little
you
bit
don't
of
put in a
chocolate
shot of
flavoring.
espresso as such.
Oh, I've got the espresso look. So I've got vodka, Kahlua,
Yeah.
which is the
Yeah.
coffee drink, and then the espresso flavoring, and then a little bit of a
Right.
chocolate flavoring, and then ice, and then blend the shit out of it so it's icy. So it's
Yeah.
not like it's more of a frappe style thing.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
as
yeah.
you
Like
drink
a
it, it
slushy
melts
type
a little
one.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not
Okay.
full slushy.
Yeah.
So I'll do those. And then because my sister doesn't make anything, I've put her to task, and I've said I want her to make some fancy ice cubes. So I found a few recipes on Instagram where all she needs to do is get a bit of OJ,
Yeah.
put it in an ice cube, put a couple of raspberries, shove it in with
Ah,
the
yeah, yeah,
OJ,
yeah.
and a mint leaf. So then
Yeah.
when we do our mimosas in the morning, we're going to whack
Fuck
those
one
in.
of them in. Yeah.
And I also brought today on Amazon, next day delivery, please,
Loving that.
some glittery, some edible glitter. So we're going to do some pomegranate mimosas where it's prosecco, pomegranate juice, and then you put the spark. So it goes
Oh, cool.
like a red color, and then you put the sparkly silver edible glitter through it, and it's all glittery.
Yeah, cool. That'll look nice, especially in a drink. I saw on Reel someone who's like, amp up your Christmas dinner this year with edible glitter, but they put it on the gravy and poured the gravy over the dinner, and it just looked wrong.
Yeah, that's bad. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
One year years ago, I tried to make my own edible glitter
Ow.
with
With
food
glitter.
coloring, and I think icing sugar, or maybe like sugar granules. I think I did, and it turned to just sludge, like
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
chunks, and I couldn't do anything with it. But now you can buy that shit for $12 from
Perfect.
Amazon next day delivery. I'm so into it. Anywho's, how about you? What are your Christmas eats? What are you and Vinny gonna make?
So our Christmas this year will be a little different food-wise for us. But firstly, Vincenzo will be making his usual Christmas ham. He's been doing this for a few years now, and he does a fucking great job baking the ham with cloves, brown
I'm
sugar.
so jealous. Every year when I see it, I'm like, fuck, I want to take a bite
It's
out of
so
that.
good. And we have when he does it, so we have it for a little feast on Christmas Eve. We'll have it for our dinner on Christmas Eve, and then we
I love
take
that.
the ham down to Mum and John's for Christmas Day. Have just a few bits because they'd usually put on a huge like pork and whatnot for our Christmas lunch slash Christmas dinner. And then Boxing Day was all the leftovers. Everything
Yeah.
had sort of been prepped. They'd obviously make a few more bits and pieces, but then the ham would be out, the leftover pork, chicken, stuff like that.
I love leftover ham on Christmas Day, and also
Yes.
when you've got heaps of it too. Sometimes you cook it up for breakfast on the day
Yes.
after
Oh,
Christmas on
frying it up
Boxing
on
Day.
the fry
Fry up the
pan.
thick
Yes.
pieces,
Yes. So good.
and then
So
have it
good.
with some eggs and stuff. It's like
Yeah.
awesome.
So good. And then we'll bring the bone with good chunks of ham still on it back home, which are then put in the freezer, and then I will make pea and ham soup with it, which is Mama's recipe that I finally got from her literally on her deathbed this year. I have a recording of her telling me the recipe on what to do and how to make it and whatnot. It literally took her about 5 minutes to make it. I was like ready to go, and then what? And then what? And then what? Think it'd be like a half-hour process. Took her about 5 minutes. And one of her greatest tips was, now whenever you taste it, and if it doesn't taste right, just add more salt.
Yes. I remember when you did it last year. Look, if there's any extra in a
I will try
container,
to,
I will take
yes,
some. I know that you like to share it out across the family, but if for any chance
I'll
there's a
try. I'll
little
get
bit
a,
extra, give
I'll
it
try
to
and make an
me.
extra,
I
bigger
fucking
batch.
love pea and ham soup. It's one of my
And
all-time favorites. And fresh homemade pea and ham soup is
yes,
the
and no
best.
one ever made, and this has been a tradition, like Mum would always make pan ham soup after Christmas and whenever she'd have a ham hock, really. And it was always just the best, thick,
Mm,
beautiful, so good. And she admitted to me as well when she told me the recipe that the reason she never shared her recipe with us was she was concerned that we'd make it better than she did. But that's never going to happen. It's, one of
no.
those dishes that no one can make as good as Mum.
It's like my mum's baked potatoes. No one can
Yes,
make a baked potato like my
there's
mother,
a
mate.
dish that can, no matter how much you try, you can get it good, but it's not, doesn't have
Yeah.
that same. So yeah, it's now my responsibility to make the post-Christmas pea and ham soup. And yeah, we do it like this year, made it, gave it to the family, and we ate it on her birthday. So I'll do the same again this year, but I'll try and get you a batch out of it for sure. So yeah, so we'll be doing the ham again. But yeah, this year for the first time, we'll be going out for Christmas lunch. So we're heading to Seagulls,
Oh,
me, John,
nice.
Vinny, and Lee, which will be nice and less hassle and all that stuff for everyone. And we were trying to sort of push that a couple of years ago because it was always chaotic,
Yeah.
Christmas lunch and stuff. But Mum was always determined, no, we're having Christmas lunch at
Yeah.
home, blah blah blah.
Especially with the drive down there too. Like you got to do the drive and you got to pack the car and take the gifts and everything
Yeah.
else that needs to come, the food, the ham.
Yes,
Like it's a
exactly.
whole mission when you don't get to have Christmas at your home either, like,
Yeah,
or
and
have
because
prep
it's
time.
a decent drive down too, yeah. So besides that, I'll probably make a sweet thing for Boxing Day as well. Not sure yet, but
I was gonna
same
say,
as
what's this?
yourself.
You always make a sweet thing. What's your
Either a
sweet thing?
slice or a some festive balls or something like that. I'll find something
Mm.
that I'll do. Speaking of Christmas cocktails that you were talking about, we made sugar cookie martinis
Oh,
and they were
stop.
delicious. Yeah, so it has amaretto, vanilla vodka. I don't think it had Kahlua. It had vanilla vodka, amaretto, something else.
Not frangelica or something. Is it
No,
frangelica? It's sort of like a Kahlua, but it's more nut based.
it might be actually Irish cream
Oh yeah, totally. That would be
and then
perfect.
milk. So it's a milky
Ooh.
one, but it's still, you can have one or two of
Mm.
them, and it was nice. So I'd recommend that sugar cookie martini. Look it up, and
Mm.
you with the glasses, you put it in vanilla frosting, and then
Oh,
put like hundreds and thousands around the
oh
top.
my
So yeah,
God.
they look really cool.
You'd think I'd be over cocktails after Bali. And considering I'm not really a massive cocktail person, but at Christmas time, I'm like, let's
Bring
try it
it
all.
on. Yeah, no, I get that. So while we're on the topic of food, I've got some interesting little tidbits about festive traditions around the world.
Lovely.
So in Japan, and I feel like we may have touched on this in a previous episode as well, a Christmas one, but for our new listeners, Christmas means one thing in Japan, KFC. Yes, Colonel Sanders is basically Santa there. Families order buckets weeks in
I've never
advance.
heard this. I don't think we have done this on the podcast. Oh my
It's that
God.
serious. KFC is their Christmas meal. Over in Sweden, it's all about Gelbord, a smorgasbord with pickled herring, meatballs, and glug, GLO with the two dots, GG, a mulled wine to wash it down.
Oh, I love a good mulled
Sweden,
wine.
yeah, they know how to party, those Swedes.
Remember when we were in Melbourne and we were drinking mulled wine?
Yes,
Fucking
I
love
do
that
love mulled
shit.
wine, especially in the super cold.
Yeah.
Mexico. So they have, as we know,
Mexico.
yeah, they have tamales, but they go next level tamales on Christmas. Corn husks stuffed with spicy meaty goodness. And in Italy, it's the Feast of the Seven Fishes on Christmas Eve. So they have calamari, clams, eel,
Oh,
and all kinds
yes.
of
Not eel, gross.
yeah, all kinds of seafood hitting the table, like a delicious ocean tribute. So I love how there's all these different little
Well, we
things
do oysters too. That's the other thing. When I do my prawn cocktails, we do oysters and we do
as well.
oysters Kilpatrick, which is the Worcestershire and the bacon and a little tiny bit of cheese on top.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only
Um,
way I could eat an oyster, I think.
oh, I love
Or
oysters.
if it was also in a Bloody Mary shot. I've done them that way before. So
Oh,
yeah, so that's the
lovely.
foodings. So what is
Okay.
next on your list for
So
our little
what's
festive
next?
fiesta?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the origins of gift giving.
Nice, cool. I thought
Considering
you were
we're
going to
big,
say my one then. I was like, no, no, I'm doing the origins of blah blah blah.
no, I know what you're doing. So we're big gift givers. We love our prezzies.
Yes.
And I just thought, let's go back and see where it came from. So it's a tale as old as time, plus.
Song
Gift
as old as rhyme.
It is indeed. Gift giving has been part of human culture for tens of thousands of years. It started as a practical act,
Mhm.
evolved into a symbolic gesture, and eventually became a cornerstone of social rituals, religious practices, and celebrations worldwide. In prehistoric times, the very first gifts exchanged by
Prehistoric.
prehistoric, I hear you say. The very first gifts exchanged by early humans were simple, practical items: a piece of food, a sharp tool, or a warm pelt.
Or a wheel.
These exchanges weren't just about generosity, they were about survival. Sharing resources strengthened bonds within the group and ensured mutual support during tough times.
Nice.
Anthropolo-
Obviously not at Christmas though.
Anthropologists believe that gift giving in prehistoric times helped reinforce social ties. Well, I couldn't actually do gift giving with it
Oh
specifically
no, no,
about
no. I like this. I
Christmas
like this. I like this. I was just saying
because its
pre-Christ.
origins are deeper than that.
Yes, I like it.
If one member of a group shared food, they could expect others to return the favor later. Well, that's like modern times, really. It's like, I
Yeah.
feed you, you feed me, bitch.
Here's a cup of sugar. I want a piece of cake.
Bring some dip and chips.
Stat.
I'll make the sausage rolls,
Don't hold it back on the cheese ball either.
but I want a cheese ball.
Yeah.
Yes. BB, Belinda Bosa. Bring me my cheese balls, please. This created a sense of trust and unity that was crucial for survival. Ancient civilizations, as human societies grew more complex, gift giving took on new meanings. It became an essential part of religious rituals, political diplomacy, and social status. Ancient peoples often gave gifts to the gods, hoping to gain favor, protection, or blessings. These offerings, ranging from food and livestock, I'll give you a cow, you give me some chooks.
Or a sheep.
maybe some eggs.
Yeah.
I feel like a whole cow's worth a
Yeah.
lot more than just a
I'll give
couple
you
of
some
chooks.
milk. Give me some egg.
You give me milk for life, bitch. If I give you a cow, I'll be knock, knock, knock. Where's my milk? I gave you that cow.
Yeah. I want pasteurized too.
The ancient Egyptians were particularly famous for their elaborate offerings to the gods. Temples were filled with treasures meant to please divine beings and secure prosperity for the community. In the ancient Greek and Roman worlds, gift giving became woven into the fabric of festivals and social life.
Mm.
The Greeks gave gifts to guests as part of their famous hospitality. Hosting someone in your home wasn't complete without presenting them with a token of goodwill, like fine wine or crafted goods,
Well,
which means
look.
if I come to your house, I want a gift too. You feed me and then give me a present.
Is it? I thought they were bringing the present.
No.
Because we still do that too. Like, I mean, if you're going somewhere, you don't show up with your arms swinging, do you?
Mm,
Whether it's a bag of
God,
Smith's chips
no.
or a box of favorites.
Exactly. It's like when you message people and you're like, what can I bring? Like, nothing. It's covered. You still go
Yes, with
with
something.
booze, a bottle of wine, a
Yeah,
couple of bags of chips, a bottle of
yeah,
soft drink just in case.
exactly.
So the Romans brought gift giving to new heights, particularly during the festival of Saturnalia. This winter celebration involved feasting, merrymaking, and exchanging small gifts such as candles, figurines, and coins to wish others good fortune.
Love it.
Saturnalia is considered a precursor to modern Christmas traditions. So
And
see how it's developing?
yes.
It's getting a little bit more and more and more. It started with just you need this, I'll give it to you. Now it's getting into something a little bit fancier.
And now the church take it as a Christ thing. Yeah.
Yes, yes, here we go. So the Middle Ages, knights, nobles, and loyalty. During the medieval period, gift giving became a complex social and political custom. Courtly love flourished in the Middle Ages, and gifts played a central
I
role in
thought you said
romantic.
Courtney Love flourished in the
I
Middle Ages.
felt like I was saying that when I was like reading it because that's how it reads. Played a central role in romantic pursuits. Knights would present their ladies with tokens like jewelry. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Ribbons or embroidered scarves as symbols of their devotion. I'll take the jewelry, please.
Yeah. Fuck your ribbon. The
Royal
scarf would be nice. I'd
courts.
appreciate a scarf, but your ribbon? No, thanks.
Royal courts were the epicenters of extravagant gift giving. Kings and queens exchanged luxurious items, gold goblets, I'll have one of those, rare textiles, meh, and even entire estates, yes, please,
Yes, yeah.
to cement
Acreage. Thank you.
alliances or demonstrate their power. The Renaissance. Here we go. Now we're getting into the good shit. As the Renaissance dawned, gift giving began to shift from strict obligations to more personal expressions of thoughtfulness and creativity. Art and literature flourished during this time, and gifts often reflected this cultural boom. Patrons of the arts would commission paintings, sculptures, or poetry as gifts
Yeah.
to honor someone important. No thanks.
I see. I think that would be nice if you got something that someone had wrote for. I mean, it'd have to be good. Not like roses are red, violets are blue.
It's rather
You've got a great
subjective,
ass. I
isn't
want to do you.
I feel like that's all it was.
Oh, bless. Here's my ass.
Maybe some haikus.
Yeah.
The Renaissance also saw the rise of the individual as a focus of celebration. Birthdays, anniversaries, and personal milestones became occasions for giving unique and thoughtful gifts.
Nice.
Getting closer to what we do now.
We are.
Victorian era. The Victorians took gift giving to a new level, establishing many of the customs we recognize today. Christmas gifts. The 19th century saw the formalization of Christmas as a major
Here we
gift
go.
giving occasion, inspired by the story of Maggie bringing gifts to baby Jesus.
Maggie?
Maggie, yeah, Maggie. I don't know who Maggie is, do
I
you?
don't know who Maggie is
We're
either.
not really up with our biblical references, I gotta say.
I like Maggie. It's like
Not once have I read the Bible.
Maggie bought a stock pot to Jesus.
I think you're right, it's Maggie, but I say Maggie. Bringing gifts to baby Jesus, some mirth.
Some
What is it?
gold,
Mirth
frankincense,
mirth, and gold.
Yeah.
Maybe some sheeps. Victorians exchanged presents as a way to celebrate generosity and family togetherness. Wrapping paper was popularized during this period, adding an element of surprise and elegance to the act of giving.
So this is the 1800s, yeah?
This is the Victorian era. Plus.
Yeah. 19th century.
But the 19th century, yes.
Yeah.
With the rise of mass production, gifts became more accessible to the middle class, not the poor people, please. They couldn't even get bread.
Here's an apple that I
Well,
stole.
they didn't even get fresh fruit. They had scurvy. They were constantly riddled with scurvy. There's no fresh fruit for them.
No oranges.
The availability of affordable goods transformed gift giving from an elite practice into a widespread tradition.
Nice.
If you were rich. Read between the lines, please.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would just getting a lump of coal. Not even that.
Not even
just
that.
a poem. That's when
they're lucky if
poems.
they had a full belly. Modern times, the gift giving boom. Today, gift giving is a global phenomenon shaped by cultural traditions, religious holidays, and commercial influences. Surprise, surprise.
Capitalism at its finest.
What are you talking about? We love it. We no complain. The 20th century saw the rise of the gift-giving industry from greeting cards and department stores to online shopping.
Yeah.
Next day delivery on Amazon, bitch. It's my favorite thing in the world. I will never not subscribe to Prime because it's the best. Forget to get someone a present, going somewhere on Saturday, haven't had time to sort anything. It's Wednesday night. Yeah, next day delivery,
it's bitch. So good we've got the warehouse now at the airport.
I love it so much. Holidays like Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Mother's Day have become major economic events. Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
With cultural exchange, traditions from around the world have blended, enriching the way people give gifts. Despite its evolution, the essence of gift giving remains the same, a way to show care, strengthen relationship, and celebrate life's moments. Whether it's a shiny rock from prehistoric times or the latest gadget from Amazon. Gifts are a timeless expression of humanity's need to connect.
Yes.
Bitch, what are you getting me for Christmas?
Well, it wouldn't be a surprise if I told you now.
Yes, I know.
I may not wrap it. That's an environmental issue now.
I won't have time to wrap yours either.
I'll put it in a bag or something, or alfoil.
Just throw it at me. While you're driving past the house. Catch! Anywho, over to you. What are you doing now, you stupid bitch? Get festive.
All right, you stupid bitch. You stupid bits. Let's dive
bits of that.
Let's dive into a festive rabbit hole of Christmas caroling. Spoiler alert, they didn't start out as the wholesome chestnut roasting jams that we know today. We're talking.
Imagine if right now we lived in a country, like if we lived in a place where people would just knock at our door at this time of year and just sing us a song on our front doorstep.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Doesn't even go like that, Jesus.
Silent night. Holy night. Baby Jesus, represent
in the house. But yes, they didn't start out as the wholesome chestnut roasting jams that we know today. We're talking pagan bangers now.
Going dark, are you?
Thousands of years ago in Europe, thousands of years ago, so also pre-Christ, also pre-Christmas.
What do you mean pre-Christ? That didn't happen.
BC.
He created the world.
That was his father.
Adam
in Genesis.
Eve,
I don't think Adam and Eve
Again,
created it.
once again, biblical references.
Lost. But thousands of
Something
years
happened,
ago,
allegedly.
in Europe, carols were all about dancing in stone circles during the winter solstice, celebrating things like, I don't know, not freezing to death. The word
That'd be nice.
carol, however, comes from the French word carol with an E,
Carol
meaning
brainless.
meaning circle dancing with singing. Oh, circle dance with singing. Basically TikTok
What?
trends, but medieval. So the word carol comes from the French carol
TikTok
with an
trends
E,
would make it medieval.
but medieval, which meant circle dancing with singing.
Love
Circle
that.
dance with singing.
That's what we'll be doing on New Year's. Bring
Circle
around
dance
the
with singing.
rosy. Woo woo.
Fast forward to Roman times, and we get something that you brought up actually, Saturnalia or Saturnalia.
I didn't pronounce it as eloquently as you did, though, I must say. You've about done me there, son.
This was like Christmas, but with way more partying. Think wreaths, candles, and gift giving.
Yeah, I love all those things.
Thanks, Saturn. I know, but referenced on yours as well. Eventually, early Christians were like, this solstice thing, ours now, and swapped pagan songs for hymns about baby Jesus.
It's unheard of. They never did that.
About baby Jesus. Latin hymns became the rage in 4th century Rome, but let's be real, nobody vibed with them. Latin isn't exactly the language of bops. Cue the hero of the carol world, Saint Francis of Assisi. In the 13th century,
got tears in my eyes from laughing, by the way.
He brought nativity plays with sing-along songs in local languages. This was the OG carol karaoke.
Bang us one out. Go on. Oh,
well, we'll get there.
Faithful, joyful and triumphant.
O come ye.
O come ye.
Christ the Lord.
Christ the Lord.
But by the 1400s, was sailors, basically medieval buskers, went door to door singing, wassail, Old Norse for be well. And I think that's where caroling came from, door to door caroling.
You think or you know?
Well, I'm assuming. And in return, they would get hot spiced drinks.
Oh, I like a hot spiced drink.
Who wouldn't carol for that, right? Wassail. so this is obs where going door to door caroling begun. Now, Cromwell in the 1600s was like, no Christmas for you. So carols went underground.
It's like a Scrooge.
He was. Emerging later during the Victorian era, yet again another reference to yours, when folks like William Sandys brought them back. Suddenly, caroling was cool again. Classics like Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen. All is slowly all about deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon at night. I always do like, some of these old Christmas carols.
I do like
too.
some oldies, And I do like them when they redo them with pop musicians, the old ones.
Good King Wenceslas looked out upon the feast of Stephen. And also, God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. That's when they got their glow ups.
Blah, 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 was born on Christmas
Day. To save us all from Satan's power when we had gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Did you know some carols are literal medieval remixes?
Yes, I did know that.
I mean, duh. Ding Dong Merrily on High has a 1500s tune with 1800s lyrics.
I thought you were going to keep banging that out then. You just cut it really quickly.
And fun fact, to close this off, Jingle Bells, originally called the One Horse Open Sleigh.
What, you don't mean the Jingle Bell Rock?
Not the Elvis classic, which had a medieval remix. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell, swing and jingle. That's it.
Oh no, I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard.
Originally called the One Horse Open Sleigh.
I must say, I'm feeling very merry and festive.
Good, so we should. It bombed in 1857 when it was
What?
released.
The Jingle Bell Rock bombed in the 1800s.
At 57. It was those hips. They were devastatingly too risque. Imagine dropping
Just
a
weren't
Christmas
fan
song
of Elvis.
and hearing, "Nah, we're good." But it took many years for the song to become popular, and it's now obviously a staple. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Do you know, I heard a
Jingle
thing
all
on
the way.
Christmas FN. They talk about, like, I think the top 3 or top 5 Christmas albums ever or whatever, or singers. Mariah Carey's like 3 or 2, and the top selling Christmas album apparently goes to Elvis Presley.
Wow.
I know. Rock,
Well,
hula baby. Well,
there'd be
Jingle Bell
heaps of
Rock.
people. I mean, there'd be heaps of people who have loved it and continued to love it for years and years, and then it would have been super popular in its time. But that's surprising. No, Ariana
Mm.
Grande.
No, I think she was
No,
7.
Sabrina Carpenter.
She was definitely
The
9.
Christmas. She's got a Christmas show out right now.
What about Bing Crosby?
What about Sia?
How would she sing it? Jingle
She has a
bells.
Christmas. She has a Christmas album.
Actually, I do think there's a song of hers that comes on Christmas FM. So Sky, next time you hear "Oh Come All Ye Faithful," no, it's actually the Beyonce of carols. Music and lyrics slaying together since the 18th century and the oldest popular carol. Now, I ask you one question.
Sure.
Who's ready to wassail?
As long as I'm getting some spicy wine.
Some spiced warm drink.
Well, a spice warm drink to me is spicy wine.
Oh, yeah. I don't want fucking eggnog. Unless it's got a spike in it. Spiked
I
eggnog.
made eggnog 2 years ago when we put the Christmas tree out with me and Tyler and my son. And we all drank eggnog and we put some fucking brandy in it. I've still got the brandy bottle actually, and it's had some shots out of it from parties, but it's still got a bit in there. It wasn't pleasant.
I've always wanted to do a little eggnog, thinking, oh, that'll be nice and traditional in those big. Did you get your moose glasses?
I did. I got 2 of them, and then I went back to buy them again, and they were all sold out.
Yeah, I couldn't find
get
them
them
anywhere.
deliver. And I was going to pay a fortune for them, but when I actually got them the first time, they only cost me like $10 each. And I had a plan to get one for every. Yeah, they were excellent. And then, so the reason I only brought 2 was because I was thinking, I'm sorry, listeners, we might need to explain. We're talking about.
We digress.
Christmas Vacation,
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Looms is fine.
Where they drink eggnog out of the reindeer glasses with the big ears off the side. And we've been trying to get them, me and my sister, for years and years, but they can only come from the States and they cost a ridiculous amount of money. Found them on Temu. Wasn't sure that they would be okay. So just brought 2 of them because they were $10 each and they were excellent, amazing quality. Then went back to buy a whole bunch more and they were gone. You can't get
Hopefully, yeah, we'll have to try and remember to get them in July next year.
Yeah. Or maybe after Christmas.
I only want 2 as well. Because that's all I need for me and Vincenz.
You could have my 2 because it's unlikely that we'll use them because not everyone will have one.
Oh, no,
they're at my sister's. They're at my
Yeah, no, you
sister's
can't.
because I took when I got them in like July. I took them straight to my sister, like, here, they belong at your house now.
No,
I got no room for them.
But thank you, though. So, yeah, that's the history of carols. Again, it came from pagan times. It wasn't about the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It was from the winter solstice, those celebrations, that type of thing. That's when caroling became good, and it obviously got adopted by the Catholic Church for the birth of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Obvious reasons.
But I do love a carol.
Find out how many drinks. 7.6 standard drinks. That I feel very
Mine's
drunk.
8.6.
Yeah, I'm like, this is nothing for me. I had a
But
snack before I
I
did this.
think
I haven't had my dinner, but I had a snack.
it was a less snack, but it was still a snack. But I think I told you as well the other night when I came home drunk from something and I watched a Christmas
You
movie, and
came
then I
home
was
drunk from
like,
something?
it was before
Never.
Vanny came back, and I put on old Christmas carols like the Good King
Yes, you did tell me
Wenceslas
this. Yes.
and passed out to it, and it was fucking lovely. They're nice Christmas carols.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Party for one.
All right,
Christmas style.
Christmas style? What you got next, you dumb bitch?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about culture's obsession with the Christmas movies, please.
Ah, yes.
So it can be understood through a mix of nostalgia, emotional resonance, and societal traditions. Here's a breakdown of why these films hold such a special place in many hearts during the holiday season. For many, Christmas movies are tied to cherished childhood memories, watching classics like Home Alone or It's a Wonderful
Yes.
Life.
A Christmas
With
Story.
family becomes a tradition, evoking a sense of comfort and familiarity. You know, I still haven't seen A Christmas Story.
No, yeah. Look, I've watched it since. It doesn't I mean, there is so much of it that is so funny and rah rah, but it's still like it's not a tough watch. It's just like you've got to,
You've got to have loved it from a young age. It's like when
yeah,
I show National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation to Tyler, he doesn't enjoy it at all. He can't
yeah.
believe that we find it as hilarious and we have to watch it every like
And
Christmas.
that's that same thing about watching TV shows over and over again because you know what's going to happen. So it gives you that sense of
Yes.
security. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And also, if you watched it now randomly and you'd never seen it before, you'd be like, oh, God, this is terrible.
Yeah.
But it's just something that yeah, there's the nostalgia and stuff.
See if you can give A Christmas Story a go though, because there are some
I
fucking funny
want
bits
to
in it.
because I love the meme that goes around where they're smoking and drinking wine on Christmas morning while the kids open their presents. I'm like, that's us, except not
Yes.
smoking in the house. um, but have you seen It's a Wonderful Life? I've never
No,
seen that either.
me neither. And I have put it down on our Christmas movies to watch. It's a Wonderful Life. We got to watch it just
But
to.
there's it's been redone as well.
Well, and that's also Miracle on 34th Street. It's been done a few
Yes,
times. But
yes,
It's a Wonderful Life actually sounds pretty cool, the theme of it. So it's about a guy who's going to kill himself, and then his guardian angel comes down to show him the meaning of Christmas and stuff like that. And he's sort of obviously, it's a wonderful life, obviously.
yes.
Yeah.
And then every time a bell rings, an angel gets its
Look,
wings.
Daddy or Mommy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
In
Shut
the
up.
old Jimmy Stewart. Which reminds me, actually, I'm just going to insert Christmas movie here. But you've seen Scrooge, right?
Oh, please.
Yeah, okay,
Multiple times.
God, I love that film. I'm
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on tonight because Tyler's been very resistant to Christmas films. He watched Nutcrackers the other night because it had Ben Stiller in it, and it also that chick Linda Cardellini, and he thinks she's
Yeah.
hot. So that's how I managed to convince him. But that's probably the only Christmas movie I've watched this year because he's so resistant to it.
The Meet Me Next Christmas, I actually enjoyed. He'd probably hate it,
Yeah, he would.
but I enjoyed it for a cheesy Christmas flick.
Yeah, but he
I thought it
has
was quite
seen
fun.
all the OGs that I've seen. Like he's seen Scrooge. He did enjoy Scrooge. Everybody, you can't not see Scrooge.
Yeah.
I think it's excellent though. Come on.
The chick from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt's in it.
Oh, she's the
And
best. She's the fairy.
yeah,
And
she smacks the
whacks
shit
him.
out of him. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's also about emotional comfort and escapism, like we've been talking about. Christmas movies follow a predictable pattern. I don't
Yes.
know about you, there's the heartwarming ones that I really love that have a special place, but it's the comedy ones that I
Oh yeah,
also
me too.
really
Yeah.
love, like
Yeah.
Scrooge, like Four Christmases, not like National Lampoons.
A Christmas Story for me. Yeah.
Have you watched It's How
But
to
yeah,
Make
like
Gravy?
no.
So
Do you know
do you
Kim's
know the
dad's
song?
an extra in that? Hang on.
No.
Let me just blur
What
my
the
back
fuck?
screen.
Oh, I can see his butt cheeks.
Okay. So yeah, Kim's dad, I know the song. Yeah, Paul Kelly.
Yeah. And so they finally made a film out of it. So me
Yes.
and my sister have a pact that we are going to wait. So I haven't watched it and she hasn't watched it. And we're going to wait till Christmas Eve, no matter how late she gets back from her family thing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
no
that'll
matter
be
how
nice.
drunk I am
You got to give it a crack.
from drinking whiskey and cooking food, we're going to put it on because otherwise,
Yeah.
and we won't watch it on Christmas Day because there'll be too many people coming and going and too much happening.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so we're
No,
going to
Kim's
watch it.
dad's an extra in it. He's one of the prisoners. And I think he's in 2 scenes. Like I saw
What?
on one of her stories. Yeah. She's like, they pause it when you see him in the background. They're like, hey. Yeah. He
Send me
just
a photo so I can look out for him.
he just does it like he did it for, something to do. I think he's retired. I may be wrong. Sorry, Kim. But he's just doing it for shits and giggles.
Oh
And
my God,
then
I
got an
love that.
extra
That
in
is
it.
so
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
So, the holidays can also be chaotic and stressful. And so these movies offers something to people. It's a chance to escape into a
Yes.
snow-dusted world where miracles happen and
Yes,
everything
exactly.
works out.
And
Um,
also for us, when you watch Christmas movies where it's all the white Christmas and shit like that, it's magical and all that.
yes,
And like
yes.
then you've also got, like Santa Claus the movie and even the Santa Claus with Tim
Mm.
Allen and stuff like that. They were as fun. Yeah.
When was the last time you watched the Santa Clauses?
I think I watched, when I say recently, I mean like recently as in within 5 Christmases ago.
Yeah, because we put one on. We put the first one on because they one of Tyler's favorites, and we put the first one on a couple of years ago, and I struggled to get through it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Plot
it's just
holes all the
everywhere.
way, and I'd seen it when I was younger as well, and had enjoyed it, but I was like, meh.
Mm.
And then Tyler ended up turning it off because I was boo-hooing it too much.
But you've seen Santa Claus the movie, right?
That's what we're talking about.
No, not the Santa Claus. Santa Claus the movie. It came out in like the 80s and it was this huge one. And the guy from Third Rock from the Sun, John Lithgow,
Oh, I
he's
don't
in
think that
it.
I
And
have.
he invented a candy that you eat, and it was flying candy. I remember talking to Michelle about it because there's a little kid, a homeless boy, and he gets given
Oh.
a can of Coke, and you watch him drink the can of Coke behind a wall and stuff.
I don't think I have, but I shared something to you on Instagram the other day about the one A Mummy for Christmas with
Oh
Olivia Newton
yeah,
John. Did you
yeah.
ever see that when you were a kid?
I think I think so. It didn't stick, so I don't think it was one of my faves, but I'm
Well,
pretty sure I
when
saw it.
when we were kids, it was mine and my sister's favorite. We loved that movie and we watched it over and over and over. But I haven't seen it since I was literally a kid.
Yeah,
So, and you know how we've been doing the go back in time movies and then rewatching something that we
yeah, yeah,
haven't watched
yeah.
in forever. I was thinking if we had a Christmas version, that would be
Oh, we
great.
could
But
totally do that next year.
yeah, yeah, but it was one of those ones where she's a mannequin and then something,
Yeah,
Christmas magic happens and she turns into the real mum and then she can touch all the mannequins in the shopping center and then they turn into real people.
yes,
And I remember it just being the best thing ever.
yeah. Well, let's do
Um,
that next
I think it would be a bad
year.
movie though.
But that'll be a good one for the VHS rewind because we're going to do that every
Yes,
season, aren't we? Yeah,
yes, yes.
that'll be
Maybe we
cool
do a
for
Christmas one
Christmas.
next year.
Yeah.
So there's themes of hope and generosity. Christmas movies often emphasize the best aspects of humanity, kindness, selflessness, and hope. They remind viewers of the importance of community and generosity. From A Christmas Carol to The Grinch,
Mm.
tales of redemption resonate because they mirror the spirit of Christmas, the idea that it's never too late to embrace goodness and change. Hashtag Scrooged. Um, and the Christmas Carol. I don't mind the Christmas Carol
I
either.
love the
I
Christmas
like
Carol,
the
especially the
Muppets
old.
Christmas Carol.
I love the Muppets one. I even love the old Charles Dickens one. That used to scare me when death came in the old
Mm,
school one.
yeah.
And I used to love Jim Carrey's The Grinch. When that first came out and I had it on DVD, I used to watch it around July. Every time I used to watch it over and over, and then at Christmas over and over.
I
Loved it.
never really loved it. I've got to
I
say, I
loved it.
never really got into
I
it.
just thought it was fucking funny as.
And Link was little too, and we used to put it on, but I think I remember vaguely that it scared Link a lot. So maybe I think we got it when it came out. I can't remember how old he was, but it scared him a little bit. And so we never really went back and revisited it. And
I'd say
also
it's
remember
20
when
years old. Yeah.
um, Jim Carrey did the Christmas Carol. Remember he redid
Oh
the
yeah,
Christmas Carol?
yeah, that Scrooge one. Yeah.
And I got it because everyone knows that I love Christmas. And years ago, at one job I was doing, Someone got me the DVD for Christmas of the Christmas Carol. I remember putting it on. I was like, ugh, don't love it.
Yeah,
And didn't finish it.
I think I watched it, but I watched it once and I enjoyed it at the time, but it wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to watch that again.
Mm. But there's like, snow and sparkles, the visual appeal of Christmas movies, twinkling lights, cozy firesides, which I wish we could have cozy firesides,
Yeah.
but we can't. We just only have air conditioning because it's
Yeah.
so fucking hot.
We got barbecues and pools.
Yeah. And if you don't have a pool, fucking
Yeah.
not coming to yours for Christmas. And snow-covered landscapes.
Yes, yeah, totally. All of that just makes it so much more magical.
And then we can't forget Christmas trees and Santa Claus and festive decorations.
Yeah.
When it's in a movie, it's hard to resist, right?
Yes. And I think as well that really the whole Christmas miracle and just the magic of Christmas is what holds on. So even though, and so I was talking to when we had our lunch the other a few weeks ago, the old school lunch, and Heidi was there, and I'd messaged Kylie across the table. I'm like, so does Heidi know yet about Santa? She's 12, but I just didn't know. And she's like, yeah. She's aware. But I was saying to Heidi, but there's still sort of like the magic of believing in Santa. He might not be the one that brings the gifts and all that, but there's still that sort of magic of it, like
I
yeah,
wish more than anything that Santa was real. Like
yeah,
if I had obviously world peace
of
would be
course.
first. But it's up there. Santa
Yeah.
Claus being real is up there on my list of real wishes.
Yeah,
And
see,
millions of dollars, of course.
but
But
mine is the magic of it. I just love the magic of
yes,
the movies bring,
yes.
and yeah,
And all my like Link doesn't believe in Santa, obviously.
yeah.
My niece doesn't. My younger niece still does, but
I
it's
love that though because
very
that keeps it
like
alive, and yeah,
it does. And
spirit of
she
Christmas.
she will always, even when she realizes that Santa isn't real, she's still gonna like
Hold
think
on to it.
she's still gonna hold on to it, which is beautiful, and that will
Yeah,
always make it
yeah.
present for
I think it
Christmas.
is beautiful.
But I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast, but the first time I found out that Santa wasn't real, I was only like 6. And someone said to me, one of my cousins said to me, one of my older cousins turned around and said, Santa's not real. And then
Yeah,
I ran up to mom and dad and I was like, bawling my eyes out. And then I couldn't give it up. And then every
yeah,
year after that, even though mum and dad assured me that Santa was real, I could never give it up because someone had told me. And eventually they said to me, like maybe 2 years later, look, it's not real. But you
yeah.
cannot fucking tell your sister.
We will kill you.
Because I wouldn't give up. I was like, I know it's not real. And then I started like, casing out the joint. Like
Yeah.
checking, like trying to fuck with them and like be like, but you said this. And that's not real. So what's the story here?
I knew pretty young as well. I think it was a school thing.
How
Someone
dare
at
children
school.
ruin that? But it's just the thing, isn't it? Like kids have to do that.
Yes.
But
As
when
soon
you
as they
know that
find
Santa's
out.
not
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fucked.
I
It's really
remember one of
fucked.
my earliest memories, especially around Christmas, is at our very first house, well, the house I was born in, well, not born in, but first lived in, sitting on the stoop. And I'm sure my mum was pissed, but sitting on the little staircase out the front and mum pointing up the road and saying, and there was this red light in the distance. She said, you see that red light? That's Rudolph's nose. And I remember being like, oh, and so excited and like believing it was Rudolph. It's one of my earliest memories. And then going to bed that night. And it must have been Lee's godfather. I think they were staying with us, Pete and Morag. I remember hearing sleigh bells out the window.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you hear that? Do you hear that? And I'm sure one of them went out there and rang the sleigh bells. But I remember hearing it and just being like, oh my God,
I
it's
remember my dad
Santa.
yelling out to us and saying, quick, come out. I think I've just seen Santa like flying overhead. And me and my sister would race out and be like, oh my God, I just saw him. Can you see it? And we'd be like, yes, we can
Yes, I
see
love that.
him.
That is so
We
cool.
couldn't.
Yeah. But you believed, and you believed you see it. I
I
remember
got goosebumps.
Stuart called me up once when Brady was really little. And he just called me up. He didn't even prep me. Just called me on the phone. He's like, hi, is this Santa? Oh, hi, Santa. I've got little Brady wants to talk to you. And then he put me on the phone to Brady, and I was like, hello, Brady, rah, rah, rah. And Brady was like, hi, Santa. I'm like, have you been a good boy this year? Yes, Santa, I promise, I've been a good boy. And it was like a really nice moment doing that too, from the other side of it. Yeah.
And kids would never stop for 1 second and think, I know this voice,
Yeah.
or this is not real. Like, do you know what I mean? They're just like, oh my God, Santa's on the fucking
Yeah.
phone.
Oh my God. Yes, Santa. And even when we went to our last Christmas in Ireland 2 years ago, and one of our youngest nephew, Leo, he was they've got the Santa tracking apps now and shit like that. And he'd be
Oh, and the
showing you
letters to
Santa's coming over this
Santa.
part of Australia now and rah rah rah, and he's doing this, and oh my God, he's on
Yes.
his way. And yeah, it's
Yes.
cool. Love it.
I tell you what, though, that elf on the shelf fucking thing, I'm so glad it became a thing after I had
Yeah.
Link was grown. Because I tell you what, if I had to do that every day and every morning, wake up and be like, fucking, the elf is somewhere different, I would have killed myself.
Oh, you must have just picked it up and thrown it somewhere. Leslie was coming down the
Elf
stairs.
is
Oh,
dead.
look at that elf. But I've read actually somewhere, I think it was yesterday or today, that they were saying psychologists are saying like Elf on the Shelf isn't great for kids because they have this thing about an elf watching them, always watching them and not fucking
Yeah.
doing something. So it sort of gives that allowance to be surveilled, basically.
And
And
also the
they
fact that
can't touch
sometimes
it or anything.
the elf does really fucked up things to them as well, like, draws a
Mm,
moustache on them or does all these things. It's really quite like it. I think it's really messed up too. And also the fact that you need to add that stress to your life when Christmas
yeah.
is a full-on time, especially when you have children. It
Just give
is
them an
a
advent calendar.
full-on
Let them open
time.
something every day. That's fine.
I am so grateful. And then I look on Instagram and stuff and I see all these elaborate things that the elf has done
Yeah.
and how people are so proud about how they've done something creative every single day. And I'm talking about not just like
Oh
celebrities and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about people we
Full on
know.
shit. Yeah. Do you know? Speaking of Christmas movies, one thing I wish we did a bit more of, and I love that the English do it, is you know how they have their quiz shows and all that stuff, but they're comedic quiz shows. Like 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown and shit, which I fucking love. But then when they have their Christmas specials and they're so over the top, it's kind of what I wanted to try and achieve with our original Christmas specials, but we just couldn't do it. Where they'd have all this over the top Christmas stuff. Love it, love it.
But all our comedians in Australia are shit, most of them. The ones who are at least on telly are crap. Like, I wouldn't want to watch a show like that. I just like,
Yeah, ick. But yeah, no, I do love watching the English Christmas
oh,
specials, and
she'd
even they
come
will
in and
do
give you financial advice at Christmas time and shit. And you'd
yeah.
be like, oh my God, I want to kill myself.
But even when they have
They get
TV shows,
political, the
like what was
project people would come in and
Downton,
say something political. Ugh.
yeah, but Downton Abbey would have a Christmas special and shit like that that they don't put on
Yes.
at Christmas. I love all that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Um, God, I'm fucking drunk and I've forgotten where I've gotten to. Okay. What am I talking about? Eek. We've
We
gotten
spoke about the magic of Christmas, how it was sparkles and snowflakes and
Oh, yes, yes. And then there's the iconic symbols that are in the
oh, we
films,
did say
Christmas trees, and
trees.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
did I
did
do
that.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. A perfect holiday vision.
Yeah.
Many Christmases depict an idealized version of the holidays filled with love, laughter, and joy. And
Yeah.
for us, that's watching Americanized
Yeah.
Christmas with the
Yeah.
snow and
Yeah.
the turkey. Even though we don't really like turkey that much, nobody
It's dry.
does.
Yeah.
All the trimmings that they do, how they decorate the
Yeah.
houses, and everyone joins in. You have Christmas carols at your door,
You
and you
sort
go
of
to
live through it, don't you? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it makes you feel like there's an ideal Christmas out there. I feel like my Christmas is ideal. I love my Christmas.
Love that.
It's great to be back in Brisbane for that Christmas thing. I remember having Christmases without my family in New South Wales. I feel like my family were more devastated than I was because I had other family, and they were like, "Oh
Yes.
my God, we can't do Christmas without Scott." And they were always like ringing me like, "Ah, oh, God, I can't believe you're here. It's not the same." It's like, well, I live in a different state now,
Yeah.
and it's COVID. I'm
I
sorry.
can't come up.
And it's, some of the movies are quirky and relatable. There's
Yeah.
movies like The Elf, Family Stone, which I fucking love. The Family Stone, Sarah Jessica Parker, when she, ends up fucking the brother. Well, she doesn't fuck him, but she ends up sleeping in his bed. And you've seen The Family Stone, right?
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think so. I've seen it on a
No,
streaming
it's got
platform.
Rachel McAdams from The Notebook in it. She plays this awful sister. Oh my God. Sarah Jessica Parker, the Family Stone. No.
It's on Disney. I'll watch it.
I cannot believe you haven't seen it. I've seen it 1,000 times. And Sarah Jessica Parker plays this horrible character. And she like so there's this guy, so they're together in a relationship, and the first time she meets the family is at
Oh,
Christmas.
Diane Keaton.
Yeah, Diane Keaton's in it. It's such a great film. And so he's gonna propose, but the family from the moment they meet her can't stand her, and she's a dick. She's an absolute wanker from the beginning. And they're all just like, and then in the end, she ends up crumbling because there's just so much pressure, and she tries to be, everything that she thinks, because they live in this different life, and he doesn't really go back to see his family very often. And they've got this one life, and then they go back, and then the family's like, you're not right for him. Ick. And they just can't stand her. And Rachel McAdams from The Notebook is like the younger sister, and she's like, and she just gives her so much shit. She's awful to it. It's brutal. Yeah, that's a great movie.
It's on Disney. I'll watch it.
Oh, you would love it. It's excellent. But it is, quirky and relatable. The other one that I've been trying to tell you to watch, but we can't find it everywhere. Where is like Home for the Holidays? That's excellent.
Yeah.
And then there's the Die Hards.
Yeah. Which,
Christmas movie or not Christmas movie? I say Christmas movie.
I know. And that opens up a whole door of things. So if it is a Christmas movie, then Long Kiss Goodnight's a Christmas movie. It's set at Christmas. If
you Google it right now, a list of Christmas movies that come up, Long Kiss Goodbye will be in that category 100%.
Yeah.
I feel it's okay to be in there. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, totally. If it's set at Christmas, just a drama at Christmas or a thriller.
Yeah. And then there's the social bonding. There's like quoting lines.
Yes.
Home Alone, National Lampoons.
Shit is full.
Shit is full. Clark! What about when the old lady comes in and she's wrapped up the cat?
Oh, yeah, that's right. And he kidnaps his boss.
And the kids, they can't afford to buy them presents.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I love that. So, and then we can also talk about like the whole Hallmark movie thing. I've talked to you before, my cousin, who I love dearly, but also loves trash films. She will watch every single new Christmas movie that comes out on Hallmark.
Oh, yeah.
Now, look, I'll give one or two a go if someone says to me it was excellent, but I've really got to know that it's going to be good before I give
there's
it a go,
lot of them I just can't. It's
too cheesy. Yep. It's too there's religious tones that Oh, do you know another one that's really good? The Night Before. You've seen that, the Seth Rogen one, haven't you?
Oh, maybe. I don't think so.
Oh, the one where the girlfriend's pregnant, like she's about to have a baby, and Seth Rogen's married to her, and they've got this friend whose parents died the night before Christmas or Christmas Eve, I think, and it's who is it? Not Justin Long, the one that looks like Justin Long. Oh, anyway, so his parents died when they were in high school, and they died on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and so they've been friends forever, and so every year they celebrate Christmas with him because he had no family, he had nothing left, right? And then they get older, and so Seth Rogen's wife is about to have a baby, and they've decided that they're going to tell the friend whose parents died when they were younger they can't do it anymore. They're going out into their own worlds, and
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That's it. That's the one. So they're gonna, they've got to tell him. And so one of the other friends has become this huge celebrity. He can't go anywhere without being like photographed. There's paparazzi everywhere, and the other one's about to have a baby. And so before they go out on their last night where they're going to tell Joseph Gordon-Levitt that they can't do it anymore, they're going to go their separate ways, and they love him, but they just can't do it. She's pregnant, and she gives him this little box, and she's like, look, you haven't partied. You've been the best rock of my life during this pregnancy. You were the most amazing person. And he opens this little box, and all it is just every single drug you could ever think. And she's gone on to like fucking Craigslist. She's gotten every single drug she could ever find. She's like, I just want you to go and enjoy your last Christmas because you're getting rid of the tradition with your friend and just have a really good time. And Seth Rogen just gets fucked up throughout the whole thing. Oh my God, I can't believe you haven't seen that one
I don't even know I've
either.
heard of it. I'll watch it.
I've
It's on
watched it
Foxtel.
so many. We watch it when it's not even Christmas because it's that good. You will cry. You will cry laughing. It is excellent. Anyway, I can't remember how I got to that bit.
We're talking about families. I think you're talking about some last minute movies.
Was I?
Is that in your
It's hard to
list?
say. No, that just came from nowhere.
You jumped in.
Anywho, please watch it tonight.
I will say
It'll be streaming on everything. Trust me, you could find it that the night before. You have to watch it.
it's on Foxtel. I saw it. Yeah.
You will cry.
Stupid bitch.
Over to you.
All right. So I have now just got top 5 quirky traditions from across the globe. So it's a lineup of quirky Christmas traditions from across the globe.
No.
Perfect for sparking some festive conversation. So in Austria, forget Santa. Kids here are on the lookout for Krampus.
How's your wine going?
It's nearly done.
I just did mine.
A horned demon who punishes naughty
Vincent, I've
children.
drunk you.
Have you heard of Krampus?
Yes, but only from the film, and it looks very like horror-y, and I don't want to watch a horror film at Christmas time.
Well, in Austria, the kids look out for Krampus, who's a horned demon who punishes naughty children, because nothing says Merry Christmas like fear-based behavior correction.
Mm.
Read into that what you will.
It reminds me of the witches.
It reminds me of church. In Catalonia in Spain.
But the baby Jesus is so cute. Just a little baby.
Meet Cargatio, the pooping log.
In where?
Catalonia in Spain.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the chick who was on the railway in Japan, wasn't it? What was the one?
She's not a pooping log. So family feed it treats, cover it with a blanket, and then whack it with sticks on Christmas Eve so it poops presents. And yes, this is real. In Iceland, we've spoken about this before in our
Kids
first
in Australia
special.
would love that.
I would love a pooping log. Beware the Yule cat. If you don't receive new clothes for Christmas, this giant feline will eat you. No pressure. In Venezuela, it's Caracas. People roller skate to early morning Christmas mass. Streets are even closed to cars so skaters can cruise safely. Helmets are optional. And in Greenland, they go hard with kiviak, a dish made by fermenting whole seabirds inside a seal skin for months. Truly the adventurous eater's Christmas delight.
Ooh, wow.
I know that sounds gross, right?
What does it say for Australian traditions?
Oh, I'd just say shrimp on the barbie.
Shrimp on the barbie.
I
Thongs.
yeah.
Sweating.
And aircon and pool.
In your togs.
Yeah.
In your swimmers. Your bathing suit for the, US listeners.
Your Speedos. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the top 5 quirky Christmas traditions.
Wouldn't it be fabulous to actually experience that, like in real life, though, to actually go?
Not the fermented seabird in sealskin, but
No.
the pooping log.
You'd feel like you had
KFC
to eat it too.
for Japan. I wouldn't mind that either. I love a bit of KFC anytime.
I do love a KFC, but I want a zinger, please. Chip with gravy and chips.
And a little nug.
A cheeky little nuggy.
A cheeky little nuggy. So, yeah. That's the Christmas.
That's our Christmas sayonara to
wrap.
season 9.
Yes, what a nice finish. Yes. And we've got our own little Christmas gathering right before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got our Christmas party tomorrow.
Oh, lovely.
Should be fun. Doing Secret Santa in the morning. Then, because I'm in the social club and it's me, Connor, and Kim, basically. So we head off to the Prince Consort about 45 minutes before everyone else. We've got a little heads and tails Christmas game lined up for the beginning. And then we've just bought some other games with some of our social club money. Jenga, Pop-Up Pirate, put them on the table. You want to play. I'm getting pissed.
Pint over here.
Yes, exactly.
I just can't believe that it's so close. Like, it's just like, oh my God.
I
There's
know.
one weekend after this weekend, obviously, because it's Thursday night. But then there's one more weekend and then it's Christmas. It's like, it just comes so quick. And I used to be that person who was super prepared for it. And now I'm just like, oh my God.
It's upon us.
It's
I
here.
haven't even put up a tree.
And now we're having a New Year's party. And it's like, I have to prepare the house.
That'll be cool. That'll be fun. So yes, a Merry Christmas to all our dear listeners. Have a safe and festive holiday season. Hanukkah, Christmas, anything that you celebrate. Just do it safely and have fun and share
Maybe a
love.
Chinese dinner, because that's what they do in Hanukkah for Hanukkah, because they don't celebrate it. So they all go to Chinese restaurants and sit around and they just eat Chinese food,
Oh,
which I also think is really cool. I love that.
love it.
But I would also hate to not have Christmas because, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I love a Christmas.
Mm.
So tell your mates, be festive.
Be festive as fuck.
AF, you stupid bitches.
Make
Merry,
some Christmas cocktails, will you?
yeah, sugar cookie martini. Look it up.
And also tell your friends.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, you stupid bitches.
Check out our socials and send us a present
Yeah.
by sharing the love with the world that is Stupid Bitches Say What.
Yeah. Fun. The Aussie podcast about everything and nothing.
But
You ho
always
ho
so
ho.
fun.
Cheers
Merry
to
Christmas.
season 9 with wine. Yeah, that stupid bitch. He's a stupid bitch. What a stupid bitch. That stupid bitch.